Well, after dreadful form ending season 4 and dropping out of the playoff contention, today is the start of the rebuild for season 5. Welcome to the transfer special. It's going to be a big one. We've got money to spend, but we've got to be able to spend it wisely and attract the right sort of players. Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more Football Manager 2024 and another part of non-league to Champions League with South Shields. Today we are back with the transfer special for season 5. It's going to be an interesting one to see how we actually get on with this. Obviously last season I don't think we had the best transfer window, and I think that contributed to a flying start. We did amazing with the players that brought us up, but a few injuries really got hold of us, and we've had a terrible end to the season. We ended up finishing in 12th place in the end, or 13th I think, and in the bottom half, which completely was not really what we deserved, in my opinion. So going into 2027-28, we got to get the right players through the door. We got to try and consolidate our position and maybe push towards promotion, because the longer we are stuck here, the more likely it is that we're going to slide back down before we move up. We need to continue this sort of meteoric rise, if you like. So anyway, let's get into it and talk about the 2026-27 season review. Signing of the season actually went to Owen Dale, which is quite funny, really. After his 8 appearances and 3 off the bench, 5 assists and a 7.01 average rating. I was pretty impressed with Owen Dale, absolute legend of our Portsmouth journeyman stint last year. Cauley Woodrow did okay on loan as well. A couple of injuries prevented him from really doing too much, but 3 assists and 1 goal for the 32-year-old. Would be interesting to try and bring him in on a permanent deal next season. Adam Lewis was one of the highlights, QPR. On a free transfer, 7 goals and 7 assists there. Henry Fieldson, of course, returned for a 3rd loan spell from Sunderland. Again, very, very solid at the back. Isaac Hayden was probably our marquee signing, 6 goals and 4 assists in 43 appearances. Very, very solid from him. Paul Glatzel is somebody else that we want to bring in on a permanent basis from Morecambe. 10 goals and 5 assists in 27 starts for him. Romeo Beckham did well. Ollie Norburn did all right. Adam Edgar looks like a player that will offer us a lot in the future. He came in on a free from Arsenal, has a lot of potential. So 1 goal and 2 assists for him. Ricky J. Jones had a decent loan spell. Will Mannion, our record signing, probably the most disappointing of the lot. 17 starts and only a 6.69 average rating. In terms of transfers out, you can see the likes of Isaac Heath did okay, but I think we generally we did all right on that behalf. In terms of loans going out, Ollie Webb certainly looks like somebody for the future. 3 goals and 1 assist and a 7.27 average rating for him. Jack Langley looked good at FC United of Manchester, 12 goals and 5 assists, and Jed Abbey out on loan to Helmond Sport, 12 goals and 6 assists for him in 33 starts. So fingers crossed we can bring some of them back into the team. We ended up finishing in 13th place, as I said, on 64 points from 46 games, finishing 27 points clear of the relegation zone, and in the end about 14 points off the playoffs. Long way off automatic promotion. Stockport County still can't get out of this division. Derby County, Portsmouth and Reading, the teams to go up. But you can see we had a flying start of the season, winning 9 of our first 12 games and topping the league. But then it took a dramatic turn, really, and since that point we were just hanging on and probably only won as many games as we did in that first 12. What's that? 1, 2, well, that's what, yeah, we won 9 games in the following 34. So definitely inconsistent towards the second half of the season. We got the second round of the FA Cup. Would have loved to have progressed further. Wasn't to be. Knocked out in the first round of the Carabao as well, and another season of having to play in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. Anyway, biggest win this season, 6-0 over Accrington Stanley. Moment to remember was a 2-2 draw against Reading back in August, and goal of the season was Isaac Hayden in the 3-0 victory over Sheffield Wednesday. The reputation stays the same. We have had a big increase in terms of our annual revenue, bigger sponsorship, bigger broadcast revenue, more corporate and hospitality, more matchday retail as well. Ethan Wheatley sold the most shirts last season. Dele Alli still selling shirts, as is Tom Ince, Isaac Hayden and Owen Dale. This was our best lineup of the season. Miles Boney starting in goal with Lafudu, Fieldson, Nallo and Lewis in defence. Hayden and Whittaker holding the midfield. Ollie Norburn in the middle with Mully and Kuyar starting behind. Ethan Wheatley up top. Okay, in terms of record breakers, did we have any? I suppose Isaac Hayden, worst discipline, 11 yellow cards. Robert Briggs now 408 league appearances, made his final appearance in the last episode, and he's now got the most league goals, 104. Youngest ever player is Aidan McGregor. And Amaro Nallo is the highest transfer fee received for £71,000. I would actually like to see our transfer record, because it doesn't look like Will Mannion broke that record there. We'll maybe have to have a little look. Who won the Fans Player of the Year? Ethan Wheatley. Young Player of the Season, Ethan Wheatley. Signing of the season was Owen Dale, as we said. Top goal scorer was Ethan Wheatley with 28. So history in the making. Looked sharp right out the gates. Few will have expected this outcome, but they gave themselves a chance and reaped the rewards. Okay, right, very good. Okay then, Connor Barron is somebody that apparently we could look at. Definitely would be interested in him. He's 24 years old, possibly from a Scottish Premier League side, which I think would be pretty decent. Let's discuss our availability. He's come to the end of his contract. He wants 4.4. I mean, there's no way we can really afford that. But definitely somebody that I would like to get shortlisted and have a little look. So players inducted into the overall best 11 now. Who's joined? Let's see. Mazia Kuyar comes in on the left-hand side, and Henry Fieldson comes in to join him in that squad, on the bench at least. Okay, very, very good. There's the season review that we've just looked at. Collective bonuses paid out, and we are going to receive 723k, meaning that our finances are a little bit better than they would have been. Obviously, news in real life as well, that Jeff Thompson, the owner of South Shields, he is going to be selling up in the next 12 months. He has recently, unfortunately, been diagnosed with prostate cancer, so I certainly wish him well. I'm sure everybody from the channel wish him well as well. But he's still, obviously, owner of the club in this world. So, yeah, just wanted to send that little message to Jeff, and, sorry to hear that. Obviously, he's not in the best of health, but fingers crossed he will pull through that in flying colours. And well, he'll certainly be missed around South Shields. But so new owners will probably be coming in fairly soon for that very exciting football club to be involved with at the moment. Right, in terms of what the plan is going into the summer, I think if we sort this by team, I think Callum Dobson, his days are probably gone. He wants a new contract. I think we just need to release him now. It's a shame, because Callum Dobson is born and bred in South Shields, but he's played one game for us in the whole of this career mode, really. And I just don't think he's quite got it. So we're going to release him. he's gone because he's unhappy. So there's really no point in keeping him around. Miles Boney will knock around as well as Billy Terrell. I'm thinking Will Mannion will more than likely be the one to leave. I mean, lots of people criticise Miles Boney, me included, but actually you look at his average rating over the years, and he's been a pretty solid performer, and it's not really gone unnoticed that when he's in the team, we perform better. So he will be staying around. Tom Broadbent is obviously going to be retiring. I'm assuming Fieldson will not be returning next season. He might come in on a permanent deal. That might be a good signing for us. Nallo's obviously going to be going up to Millwall. Unless they fancy sending him on another loan to us, I think he will be going next season. Adekuni is joining Bendel Insurance of Benin in Nigeria. Couldn't get him to agree a new contract. He wanted something like $3,000 per week, and I just couldn't afford it. So he's going as well. Adam Edgar will be staying around the club. John Lafudu, obviously still got another year on his contract, still going up in terms of his attributes. And he's still performing to a very high level. Okay, he didn't have quite the season he had down in the National League or League Two, but I personally think that John Lafudu is worth keeping around the club. Matthew Craig, a bit of a disappointing signing in the second half of the year, but somebody that I think can improve going forward. Adam Lewis, of course, was brilliant. Jake Leake, I think his days are probably done at the club, so I think we need to say goodbye to him. I feel like we have to be ruthless this season. Maresma is obviously somebody with a lot of potential. He has improved a lot this year, and hopefully he will become the new John Lafudu, if you like. He's only 17, so will improve all the time. Isaac Hayden will be sticking about. Ollie Norburn's a tricky one. We do have the ability to keep him at the club, but he's quite injury prone. He's a solid option to have around, but at 2.2k, I think we can spend the money better. So I'm going to let Ollie Norburn go. Jack Whittaker is somebody I would like to keep around for another season if I can. They're going to clearly say he needs to be tested in another environment, but it is what it is. Mully's staying around for another year. Robert Briggs is going. Dele Alli is definitely going. I don't think he's got any clauses this year. That means he stays in the team, so we can get rid of him. That's a big name off the wage bill. Beckham staying, Cunningham staying, Tom Ince is retiring. Dylan Motley Henry should be staying around at the club, but could be somebody that quite easily gets sold this summer. He only made 5 starts, which has been the least amount he's ever made. And he is only a leading National League North player now. Kuya's going to stay around. Owen Dale stay around. Corley Woodrow will obviously return back to Barnsley. I just can't really justify that amount of money on him. Stefan Ronco will stay around, obviously. I'd love to get Glatzel back in for another... Oh, no, he's signed a new contract for them. Have Morgan been promoted? No, so I think we should be able to get Paul Glatzel this year. Going to actually make an inquiry about him because we'd love to keep him around. Ricky J. Jones is another one. I'd quite like to keep around, but let's have a look at his. Yeah, he's next year as well. Kendall's going to be going. Already set him for release. Does it actually say that there? Leaving on a free transfer, yeah, that's fine. Killian Kouassi, I think we need to get rid of him. Big flop this year. So let's ask about market interest. 80k? Yeah, let's get him in then. That's fine by me. 80k is a decent amount for him. And then Ethan Wheatley, of course, will be staying. So we need to strengthen all areas of the squad. I think job one is get a brand new goalkeeper in. To support us. Obviously down in the under 18 squad we do have some players that can make a difference. I think Ronan Croney, we need to get him back into the first team. Maybe Chris Giles, but he didn't really score many goals for Gateshead down in the National League. Where did they finish? They finished in 10th, so maybe not. Maybe needs another season out on loan. Ollie Webb, mustn't have been playing in a striker role. He's got very good average rating somehow, even though he's not scored many. And Jack Langley, he's done well at FC United, but probably needs another year of development before he comes in. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a long summer, that's for sure. So I'll push forward and we'll see who we can sign. Okay, first signing of the window is Ben Osborne, former player for Preston and Sheffield United. Obviously, Premier League experience. I think definitely somebody that can come into the side and do a good job for us. Can play at left back, can play defensive midfield and in the centre and on the left hand side. So very, very happy with that signing. Getting him on 1.2k per week. That's really not bad for a player of that experience, and to bring him in, I'm delighted actually with Ben Osborne. So he'll be coming in on the 9th of June. First signing already done. Okay, very exciting second signing of the window. Cody Drury comes in from Leeds United on a free transfer. He is an attacking right back, and I think will be absolutely awesome. And this might spell the end, you will be happy to hear, of John Lafudu. He's already a good League One player, could be a leading League One player in the future, has had loan spells at Birmingham City, Luton Town in the past. Leeds, played him in the Premier League. He is somebody that could do a great job in my opinion. He's come in at quite a hefty amount of money, 3.4k per week, but comes in as a 4-star player. I think could be absolutely brilliant, and fingers crossed he will be. That's the plan anyway. Well, this is an interesting development. Stoke City have offered us £170,000 for our Estonian wonder kid, Jevgeni Maresma, who, of course, played 25 games for us this season and did pretty well, to be fair. He's improving all of the time, but could we get a massive amount of money for him? I think we possibly could. Let's see if we can get as much as 500 grand for him. No, they withdraw it straight away. We don't want to sell him for anything less than that, really. We don't necessarily need 170 grand at this point, in my opinion. You guys might disagree. Okay, third signing of the season then is Henry Fieldson, who of course has spent 3 seasons here on loan. I think definitely deserves a tilt at a permanent contract. So we're bringing him in for £925 a week. Very, very happy with that. He can come in on a free transfer and definitely be part of this club for the next few years, which is great. Okay, next player through the door is another former one of our loanees from Sunderland. It is Sam Rasaki, who was absolutely awesome for us down in League 2. It was actually in the National League. I tell a lie. Goodness me, maybe we've made a bit of a mistake here then. But I'm bringing him in for memory's sake alone, really. He can be an excellent League One player going forward. So fingers crossed he will turn out to meet his potential. And speaking of which, we've also brought in Cody Hughes. He was definitely in our League 2 season, was one of the standout players, was playing at Port Vale in this division last year. Didn't really get much of a game chance with them, but certainly is a player that we can be very excited about. We've brought him in on a free transfer. He can be a good championship player in the future, so I'm very excited to bring him in. 2 or 3 fantastic free signings for us, and transfer window going well so far, I would say. Okay, speaking of more returning players, we've managed to get Amaro Nallo back in for another season. Obviously played 41 times for us last season, 40 games the season before. He's always performed well. I think definitely a very good depth signing, if nothing else. And, I think we're sorted for centre-backs now with Fieldson and Cody Hughes in there as well. So, yeah, happy with that. Well, quite a big transfer going out. Adam Edgar, who we know is a very, very good prospect. Cardiff City came along and have offered £325,000, which meets his release clause. So we are going to be moving him on. It gives us a little bit of money that we can go and spend, which is good. And he was on, 1.1k per week. So it gives us a little bit of money back. For a guy that isn't necessarily going to be the first name on the team sheet this year. But a shame, nonetheless, to let him go. Okay, new goalkeeper that we are bringing in is Jordan Smith. He's coming in from Stockport County, and he's been their backup goalkeeper for the last few seasons, but has always performed pretty well, to be honest with you. 5 clean sheets in 12 appearances last season. I think that's pretty massive, actually, and hopefully he can be somebody that will play well for us and come in for Miles Boney, and 12 grand. I think that's a decent deal for us there. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, new signing, Harry Cornick comes in, is a winger, can play striker as well. I think will be a very important backup because I don't think we're going to be getting Glatzel back this year, which is a real shame. But he's not. Unfortunately, he's not listed at Morecambe, so we can't bring him in. Certainly don't have enough money to be able to just sign him outright. I mean, we can make an inquiry and we can see what would happen, but yeah, we're going to need that backup striker this year, and I think Harry Cornick can be that. He scored 11 championship goals last season, scored 11 the season before, 12 the last time he was here. I think he's going to be a very, very useful player for us, can play on the wing as well, and in behind the striker, so definitely a very versatile player, and for only 1.8k per week, pretty happy with that. Okay, another Sunderland loanee comes in, Yuzu Otomo, 17 years old, did actually make a Premier League debut last season. Going to be a very interesting talent. He is a good AFL League 2 player. He's going to be in and around the squad. 5-star potential, could be absolutely amazing, could be terrible, but we will see. It's going to be a tricky one to work out, but we're very close now to the Millwall match, which is going to be opening up the season, and I'm intrigued to see what our team looks like. We'll find out. Okay, so here we are then, first day of the season, and this is the team that we have managed to put together. Jordan Smith will start in goal. We've got Cody Drury at right back with Maresma and Brody Hughes in central defence, mainly because Nallo is ineligible against his parent club and Henry Fieldson is injured for the next week or so. Adam Lewis at left back. Then in central midfield, we've got Isaac Hayden and Sam Rasaki. Then we've got Mully, Cornick and Osborne starting behind Ethan Wheatley up top. I think that's a decent side. I think definitely an improvement on last season. We've got a bit more depth in there. You've still got the likes of Lafudu knocking around. We've got Nallo, Fieldson. We've got decent goalkeepers to call on. Motley Henry in there, Cunningham, Owen Dale, Stefan Ronco, all can come into the side, and I think we've done all right there. It's going to be another struggle this season. I've got no doubt about it, but I think we have brought in some really top quality players that will help in our fight against relegation this year. Let's see what the media fancy. 19th for us this season. Slightly worse off in terms of odds of where they expected us to finish before the season started, or before the sort of the media could make predictions, but that's absolutely fine. There are fantastic teams in this division, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we get on. I think we have got a good side, and I think a more balanced side than we've ever had. We've got some good experience in there, good mix of experience and youth to try and take us forward this season. So Yeah, fingers crossed. Let us know down in the comment section down below where you think we will finish this season. I personally think it's probably going to be around about the same. I think I'd take that as well. Another year on the legs of a lot of our young players, and if we can bring in maybe one or two more signings before the window's done, we still do have a little bit more money. We've got nearly £300,000 to spend, £2,000 in the wage budget. So really, 2 or 3 more players to bring in would be fantastic. So fingers crossed, eh? But if you have enjoyed it, give it a massive thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more Football Manager videos. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.